Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2101 I'm your host, Mike Matthews, on this daily podcast thing.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yes, here we are, 2101. Hey, I went to a party yesterday, and it was great. And somebody gave me a DVD copy of the movie yesterday and said, you gotta watch it because it has to do with the Beatles. But it's a world without the Beatles and Kate McKinnon's in it. And I said, okay. So I'll watch that and let you know what I think. And the show's called
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And I love the fact that when I come to work in the morning,
Mike's
it is
Daily
pretty no
Podcast
traffic. However, I'm noticing a lot of air traffic. The sky seems to be a lot more busy. Oh, and did you see the moon last night? The sturgeon moon. Sturgeons. Like a sturgeon. Hey. So today's show, I'm going to talk about how, I don't know, how are you dealing with not being able to get people's facial expressions with the masks on? The way they, it hides their mouth. I don't know. To me, it's kind of I want to see what they're, but then actually the eyes convey so much. So we'll discuss that. And also the podcast picture today. There's been a myriad of interesting pictures. Should we go with the cat? I got a picture of a cat sitting on a Volkswagen yesterday. Volkswagen's it's of course the German car standing for the people's wagon, the people's car. Oh, we're gonna go with a picture from Philoli. Philoli. It's a garden on the peninsula, I think near San Mateo. It's very old.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Well, that's relative here in the Bay Area. I think 1914 was when it was built. It stands for Fight, Love, Live. It's the first two letters of that phrase. And the founders of that was their mantra. And so this garden exists today. And you can go there. It's open during the coronavirus, even though San Mateo apparently had really bad numbers recently, and they've had to close down a lot of stuff. So see that picture at MikesDailyPodcast.com. My lovely lady friend went there. I did not. Oh, Basil. We discussed Basil quite a bit at the party I was at last night. It was just the four of us. And the two people that we were visiting, my lovely lady friend and I, remembered Basil. In fact, I think they were really the last people to see Basil, because in his state where he couldn't move his back legs, I had to basically pick him up and carry him everywhere. And we met at a park back in April, and I brought Basil to the park, and he laid there, and we hung out and had a picnic, and it was really nice. So we're remembering him. And remembering how this is so fascinating, and maybe this is what I want to get to here in the podcast today, and this is what makes this podcast different from every stupid podcast that interviews, hey, today we got the director of the latest horror movie, blah, 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 a horror movie that was made completely with Zoom cameras on Zoom. Boy, that's going to be exciting. You must be hard up for horror movies if that's the kind of movie you're going to watch, is someone who did it all on their Zoom cameras or did it all on YouTube. But hey, creativity. Wasn't I just talking about how the filmmakers that aren't the Marvel movie makers need a chance to? So I guess go watch those horror movies if that's your thing on YouTube, the ones that are made DIY. Apparently there's a lot of them that have to do with the coronavirus that have been done during the coronavirus. So we were discussing about how I met all these wonderful people that I was sitting with through my dog years back. All of them can be traced back to Basil. So thank you, Basil. And I guess that's one good reason to own a dog. And I guess back in the day, when it was just me doing the show and it was just me and Basil, I probably talked a lot about how there was just so many good reasons to have a dog. To get you out walking, fresh air, you meet interesting people. It's just so hard. It's hard at the end, everybody. I guess it's hard for everyone at the end, but wow, it was difficult. I was told how difficult it was going to be, but I had no concept until it actually happened. So, and that all happened over 2 weeks now, a little over 2 weeks. So, at any rate, that's what we discussed. And it was great to be surrounded by people that were remembering a great animal that brought us all together. And they are cat people, so we were hanging out with their cats. And then one of their cats just went ahead and peed on one of the chairs, just sort of as a, hey, don't forget, I run this place, and I'm a cat, and I have that prerogative, and it was, uh-oh. Hey, I actually gave someone a complex the other day. Good for me. In a world where so many things give Mike Matthews a complex, I gave someone a complex. That blows my mind. So I guess be careful. You can give it. Anyone can give anyone else a complex. So just be aware of that, and realize that life's complex. I guess is what I'm saying. You know the song "More Than a Feeling." There's a video online. I forget the guy's name. He's a guitarist. Speaking of which, I should probably do a little YouTube video now. I would look it up on YouTube, but it's the gray-haired guitarist guy that talks about, here are the 20 greatest, most well-known piano intros of rock songs of all time. Here are the most familiar guitar riffs of all time, drum solos of all time. It's the 20. It's a countdown list to get you hooked, because people have such short attention spans, and all they can do is the lists in a short amount. Oh, and I was also discussing the Count 5 Psychotic Reaction from 1966. What an interesting song that was. All right. And anywho, More Than a Feeling has so much going on in it. You've probably heard it a million times. More than a feeling. When I hear that old song play, it's more than a feeling. And it is also... It was all done on tape versus everything getting cut up and pasted these days. So pretty amazing. The YouTube video that I saw, was it this one that I'm seeing? The one that you're watching right now? Is this the YouTube video with the cool Mike's Daily Podcast logo? Maybe that's it. Is it me reaching for the stop button? I think that's the video. No, it was the guy, he's gray, and he does this thing, gray-haired. I just remember the awesome gray hair. No, it wasn't Michael McDonald. And how he talks about how listen, there are claps in the chorus for More Than a Feeling. Oh, listen, here's the part where Brad Delp, and he isolates the track, so you hear the lead singer Brad Delp doing all these myriad of layers of overdubbing and tracking, and just what a voice. And as I see my Mary, and I'm walking away, and he goes, look, he's going from a D, he's going to an E. You gotta love people that are fans of music and that just get into it. I just want to see that for, I don't know, the latest Shawn Mendes song. Look, he's singing this part here where he's going, I can't finish the da-da-da-da-da. That's Shawn Mendes. Listen to how he broke it down. Okay, look who's out here at Cafe Anyway, episode 2101 right now. That's right. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? I'm social distancing. That's right. You're talking to me from the parking lot in your car. I don't know how I'm hearing you so well. And you got your face mask on. You sound so clear with all of that going on. That's right, Mike.
And it's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
I don't know what most of the show's been about today, but I do like Boston.
Let's hear it for Boston. My first concert that I saw in 1986 Well, technically it wasn't. It was whatever band sang... What band sang The Honey Thief is what I want to know. If my computer... Wow! I just clicked to open up a search bar and my computer gave me a finger. That's not a good finger to see. What band sang The Honey Thief? It was in the mid-'80s. Hipsway! That's right. So technically, the band Hipsway was the first band I ever saw. They were from Scotland, and in 1986, they had a song called The Honey Thief, and they did a concert and played that song and then other songs that never went anywhere. But The Honey Thief was from Hipsway's self-titled debut album. It reached number 17 on the British charts and number 19 on the American charts, on the top 40, the Hot 100. The Billboard Hot 100. So that was technically the first concert I ever saw at the Ventura Theater. And then they just vanished. But I always tell everyone I saw Boston. So, look who else is here.
Hello, I can't make the delicious root beer. Have some right now and I'll cut you.
Excellent. Thank you for those kind words. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Thanks for listening. Oh, and you can comment on Hipsway or anything else we covered. 336mm daily, 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM is in Mike Matthews. Daily as and what this podcast has been for a couple of days. Sometimes I get interrupted. You know that whole thing. Take it away, A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!